At that time, I wasn't aware of the trip, but it just happened that it came right into the plan, into the thought. So I want to speak to you now that I know that you're going on a trip. I just want to speak to you about this whole principle. Actually, this is very much in line with what I just finished talking about. Just as the Torah admonishes us that we should have respect for ourselves because we are Hashem's children, not because self-respect. Again, by the way, as I said, there is one of the talks on the internet, on the archives, about the concept of self-respect, the Torah view, and I would encourage you to find it and listen to it. Similarly, when we go out, and we should go out and see, so to speak, Hashem's glorious world, and experience its beauty and its graciousness, and that experience should not elicit, bring out in a person a kind of a free-spiritedness. Oh, in this world I can just fly and be a bird, and the world is big enough for my entire flight. I can fly wherever I want. That's a meaningless world. Our job is to bring meaning to the world. Like we said before. And we have to understand that the entire grace in the world, and the beauty, and the openness, and almost infinity that we can observe in the world is for the purpose of opening up our intellect and opening up our emotions, that we should understand and be able to comprehend and be able to relate to real, true infinity. The Gemara says, "Ein atinok yodea likrei Abba ve'ema ad sheyitim tam dogon," which means that an infant, a child, will not recognize to call father or mother, tati and mommy, until he has a taste of dogon, of grain food, of bread, some kind of a grain food. What is this taste of grain food? This taste touches his intellect in such a way that he begins to recognize a certain reality. Oh, this is tati, this is mommy. So that our physical experiences are instrumental in developing and opening up our intellectual powers. Even though the intellectual powers are definitely there, as we said before, it's in the soul, but in order for that to surface, and we should be able to, in our bodies, experience this, it has to come through some kind of a physical experience. And this, going out, when they're going to the mountains, I presume, and going out and seeing the greatness of Hashem's world should have the effect of opening one's mind to the greatness of reality, the greatness of Hashem's reality. You know that in davening, the first portion of davening, the first half, up until Baruch Hu, all speaks about the creation. And it speaks about the creation in terms of how the creation itself recognizes and attests, like we said before, hey, in this great creation, in this great world, if you reflect on it, you see that this is a godly creation. And that's how, as we discussed when we spoke about tefillah, we can recognize that the mountains themselves are offering praise to Hashem. So that, yes, indeed, this is, so to speak, a physical experience, and going out to some physical activity. Along with that, it should bring along an inspiration. We should understand that the reason we are capable of open physical activities is because we have open intellectual powers. Just to illustrate the point, in the world of sports, and the Alter Rebbe actually speaks about this in a different way in Tanya. In the world of sports, there are two distinct areas that need to be attended to. One is to develop the skill to throw the ball, to hit the ball, to run, whatever the skill itself. And the other is what's called the winning spirit. And if this is where teamwork comes in, where they have the sense that we have to be on top. And because we have to be on top, that inspires the real play. The real power behind the play is not the skill even. It is the spirit that is behind it. So as I said before, in today's world, we can have everything, a clear illustration, a clear model for everything. The real ability, our true ability to experience this trip is by opening up our mind and to recognize that this is Hashem's world that we're looking at. Then it becomes meaningful, then we can really experience it. Otherwise, we look at a tree, we look at a mountain, okay, so it's a tree and a mountain. A dime a dozen. But if you understand that this represents a godly plan and a godly grace, then it has a completely different, then it has real effect and real meaning. They come back inspired and elevated. So have a good trip, enjoy the trip, and remember that we are all Hashem's children, even on the mountains.